Right now, somewhere in the world, a person is sleeping alone in a tent. No walls, no locks, just a thin layer of nylon between them and the wilderness. And somewhere nearby, something is watching them. Not from far away, close, maybe 30 feet, maybe less. It can smell them, it can hear their heartbeat, it knows exactly where they are, and it's going to walk away. That's not a feel-good story. That's not luck. That's something far more interesting. And by the end of this video, you're never going to think about the wilderness the same way again. Let's be honest about what you are when you sleep outside. You're warm, you're slow, you're completely unconscious. You can't run, you can't fight, you can't even scream fast enough to matter. You are, by every definition that matters in the wild, the perfect prey animal. Now think about where people sleep. National parks full of grizzly bears, forests where wolf packs roam every single night, mountain trails where mountain lions have been hunting for thousands of years, millions of people every year. Sleeping on the ground, in the dark, in the middle of active predator territory, and almost none of them get touched. That should bother you more than it does, because it means something is happening out there that most people have never thought about. The predators aren't missing you. They're making a choice, and the reason they're making that choice goes back further than you think, way further, to something that happened long before tents existed, long before campfires existed, long before humans even looked the way we look now. Here's the first thing working in your favor without you knowing it. You smell completely wrong. A grizzly bear can detect scent from 20 miles away. A wolf can identify individual animals by smell alone from over a mile in the right wind conditions. These animals have spent millions of years building a precise mental library of what food smells like. Deer smell a certain way. Elk smell a certain way. Every prey animal they've ever hunted has a biological scent signature that triggers a specific response. You don't match any of it. You smell like synthetic fabric, like processed food, like shampoo and deodorant and whatever you cooked 3 hours ago. You smell like chemicals that have never existed in nature until about 100 years ago. You smell like fire, which every wild animal on the planet has been hardwired to treat with extreme caution for millions of years. To a predator's nose, you're not a meal. You're a confusing collection of signals that don't belong together. And in the wild, things that don't belong together are things you stay away from. But smell is just the beginning. Watch any prey animal the moment it senses a predator. A deer freezes, then bolts. A rabbit explodes sideways. A bird goes straight up. Every prey animal on Earth has a specific, predictable panic response that predators have spent millions of years learning to read and exploit. That moment of hesitation, that specific direction of flight, the way fear changes how an animal moves. Predators don't just hunt with their strength. They hunt by reading behavior, by predicting what happens next. You don't do any of that. You lie completely still for 8 hours. Your breathing stays slow and steady. You don't flinch. You don't flee. You don't even twitch in a way that makes biological sense. To a mountain lion that has hunted thousands of animals over its lifetime and learned exactly how prey behaves in the moment before death, you are unreadable. And unreadable is dangerous. There's a concept in animal behavior that explains what happens next. And once you understand it, you'll realize that your strangeness isn't a weakness out there. It's your most powerful protection. It's called neophobia, fear of the unfamiliar. Almost every large predator alive has it, and they have it for a very specific reason. In the wild, the things you don't recognize are statistically the things most likely to kill you. A new smell, a new shape, a sound that doesn't match anything in your memory. The animals that investigated those things out of curiosity didn't survive long enough to pass on their genes. The ones that treated the unknown as a threat, those are the ones still here. Humans trigger neophobia on every level. We carry fire, we carry metal, we carry plastic and rubber and synthetic materials that have never existed in nature. Our sweat is chemically different from every other mammal because of what we eat and the environments we live in. We sleep without submitting. We rest without displaying vulnerability in any way. A predator's brain is programmed to recognize. You are the most confusing thing a wolf or a bear has ever encountered. And their instinct, The instinct that has kept their species alive for millions of years is to stay away from confusing things. The predators alive today aren't just instinctively cautious. They carry a specific memory, not their own memory, something older, something that runs deeper than any individual animal's experience. Humans have been killing large predators for a very, very long time, hundreds of thousands of years. We hunted wolves, we hunted lions, we hunted cave bears and dire wolves, and every apex predator that ever shared territory with us. We drove multiple species completely to extinction. The American cheetah, the cave lion, the dire wolf, gone. Not just hunted, eliminated from the entire planet, largely because of us. The predators that are still here are the descendants of animals that learned one thing above everything else. Humans are not worth the risk. That lesson wasn't learned in one generation. It was reinforced across thousands of generations. Every population of wolves or bears or mountain lions that got too comfortable around humans got hunted down. The cautious ones survived. The cautious ones bred. And over thousands of years, caution around humans became something close to instinct. You can see this clearly in the data. In areas where large predators have had consistent human contact for generations, they give people a wide automatic berth. In truly remote regions where animals have almost never encountered humans, they're actually more curious. Less afraid. They'll approach. They'll investigate. The fear isn't automatic. It was earned. We made them afraid of us over hundreds of thousands of years, and that fear is still in them. So what about the attacks that actually happen? Because they do. People get mauled by bears. Hikers get stalked by mountain lions. These aren't myths, but look at when they happen. Almost never during sleep. When you dig into the real cases, almost every attack connects to one of three things. Food conditioning. A bear that learns campsite equals food stops seeing humans as a threat and starts seeing them as a resource. The fear response breaks down not because the animal got brave, but because the equation changed. A bear that associates humans with food is genuinely one of the most dangerous animals on Earth. Not because it's a better predator, because it's lost the one thing that was protecting you: desperation. A starving predator with injuries that prevent normal hunting may override its instincts out of pure necessity. The famous Tsavo lions that killed over 100 workers in Kenya in 1898 were both found to have severe dental injuries that made hunting their normal prey nearly impossible. They didn't choose humans because they were easy. They chose humans because they had no other option. Surprise. An animal that feels cornered, or a mother protecting her cubs, isn't hunting you. It's defending itself. That's a completely different response, and a different kind of danger. Notice what's missing from that list. A healthy, fed, wild predator that calmly decided to attack a peacefully sleeping human for food. That almost never happens. And when researchers find the rare cases where it does, something in the normal conditions had already broken down completely. For most of human history, the dark was genuinely dangerous. Early humans were smaller, slower, far more exposed. We slept in groups, built fires, constructed walls, and spent thousands of years being legitimately afraid of what was out there. And that fear made complete sense. We were prey. We knew it. The darkness knew it too. But something shifted. We became so widespread, so consistently dangerous, so deeply embedded across every continent that the wilderness adapted around us. The predators that didn't learn to avoid humans disappeared. The ones that did are still here, and they carry that lesson in their biology. The National Park Service tracks every significant wildlife encounter in U.S. parks. Millions of people sleep in bear and mountain lion territory every single year. Fatal predator attacks on sleeping campers across all of recorded national park history, effectively zero. You are statistically more likely to be struck by lightning in the park than attacked by a predator in your sleep. So the next time you're lying in a tent in the dark, listening to something move through the trees just outside your camp, something heavy, something close, here's what's actually true. It knows you're there. It's known since before you set up your tent. It smelled you arriving. It heard you eat dinner. It's been aware of your breathing the entire time you've been lying there. And it's choosing to leave you alone. Not because it can't reach you. Not because you got lucky. But because somewhere in the deep, ancient wiring of every large predator still alive on this planet, there is a lesson passed down across thousands of generations of survival. Humans are not prey. Humans are something else entirely. Sleep well.